EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going.
What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. It's Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 32-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Safety's creeping.
First carry for Darius Geis. And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Play action. Now Wilson. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. 39 yards there. A big one. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Bang out, bam.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Right there.
Hey, check.
14. Shot.
58.
To throw again. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Denzel Perryman. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
It's now 3rd down.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. 6 man. Check curls. 36 power.
Third and long. It's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Well, remember, last year in Week 5, Gano was good from 63 away to beat the Giants on the final play. This not as critical of a kick or as long, but also not as successful.
You're exactly right about that. I was fortunate enough to be on the call for that game. You know, and me and my crew, we got to see him. And when they lined up, we thought, that's a long way. We know he's got a big leg.
This is caught inside. Play there for the Bears. 42 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
The 11-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Gurley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Looking to throw. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Oh, here we go. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 50 up, boys. 50 up. What we got? What we got? What we got? 25, 25. Shit. What?
Wilson now. Going to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Gurley. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 30. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big 7 on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM that always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. He completes it to Tate. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Back to throw here. It's complete to Robinson. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his first touchdown on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
12.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the... Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate.
Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 78 yards as the Bears push further out in front.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Check. Watch 54. 14.
Now Wilson to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Wilson now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Go. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check. 26.
Operating from the gun. Wilson steps away to his left. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Darius Geis, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? You get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. I got you, pop.
They'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check three. Check it out. Check.
Hey, watch it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Geis, they'll try to run it. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
At the Bears' 3-yard line.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. He's at the 50, the 40, past the 20, 10. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, That's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's Wilson to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
And here's Wilson throwing again. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check, 14. 54. Bang out. Bam. Tighten up.
To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. Flushed out right. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
95. You ain't doing nothing today. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Why?
Now Wilson on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
I'm coming out to alert. Watch the safety creep. Took right.
Throwing again. Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
No. Check that. Hey. Quarterback, don't get nuts. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Wilson will throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
14, run it.
Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Not pass.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Push it back. Fight that.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. In fact,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Mike,
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, Wilson. And Thomas has it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Wilson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Wilson now operating from the gun, buying time to his left. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 25 yards that time.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
380. Hey, alert. You better bring it. Sponge. Crunch.
Here's Geis, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Darius Geis, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Steelers are able to get a score back. Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. Operating from the gun. Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
At their own 27-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, we got to get to the ball.
Now it's Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 38-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 53. Check pass.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ready? 53. Check 53. Hey, they're scared. Watch the edge. 66. Bullet. Half.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
23 yards, the final tally. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. His throw caught right around the 6. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Move your team.
58, come on. Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this. Switch.
Run it. Run left.
From the gun, Wilson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
58, boys, 58.
Throwing again here, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. His intended receiver, the tight end, Caleb Wilson. But now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Wilson, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Fine, 90.
58's the mic. 90 here. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Hightower make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And this is off the left, upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go. Go to base.
Yeah. You don't want none. He's coming.
Match box. Right. Check go.
Check 13.
Out. Let it go.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
59, Steelers 23. Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 24, Wilson, deep ball for Goodwin. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Marquise Goodwin, 76 yards. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. And here's Wilson operating from the gun. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A first down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Get him! Get him! Get him! He's checking! He's checking! He's checking! Crash! Crash! Whip! 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 Watch the whip!
On the counter, Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The tackle there by Brian Poole.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
I got you, son. I got you.
From the 27, Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked picked off by Brian Poole. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Here's Gurley. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They can't hang with us. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Another carry now for Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Here we go. Here we go. And read. Watch the pass. Watch the
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Again, they run with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Hey. We got 3. We got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
They'll set up to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
He gets it to Thomas. That one goes for 24 yards. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first, because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, man open. It's Goodwin. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
To throw is Wilson. Being chased out left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete. Out of the end zone. It's fourth down.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now, field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just
Davis and all our crew.